Good afternoon, everybody. Good
Hey,
afternoon.
what's up, young men? How y'all doing?
All right,
Ah,
man.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Hey.
yeah. How you doing, Todd? You all right there?
Man, I'm blessed. I have no complaints, my brother. I'm standing on my 10 toes. I got health and strength. I'm great.
That's awesome. 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 We were waiting on Dr. Bryant to get in. He's traveling as always on the weekend. He must have got some secret rendezvous that he go on with some people on the weekend. So we're waiting on him. He's in and out. He doesn't have a stable connection. We invited Dr. Torre also to appear, but he weekends giving tours, and we don't know what Jay Jones doing, but he's somewhere advocating for the people. I hope
Yeah, we hope. Hey,
the realest of the real. Yeah.
he still may be. Hey, he still may be in bed after last night's show. He still may be in bed.
Yeah, and I know one thing: y'all better not go over no more.
Man,
Y'all,
you know what, Drew? Man, I'm gonna go today and buy me a clock that got the real time. I thought I had
no.
the.
All you gotta do is look up in that corner at 157. You got to quit.
Oh, okay, man.
What? Y'all got to quit. Ain't no if 1 more minute, nothing. Y'all got to quit at
Oh,
that
okay.
time because I can't use the show if it's over 2 minutes, 2 hours.
Right.
I can't use it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because that's the only way I can rerun it, then rerun it a month later if I want to. But if it's
Right.
not in that time frame, I can't use it.
Oh,
It's no
okay. All
good
right.
to me.
All
Yeah.
right. I'll pay more attention.
Yeah.
I won't
I'm gonna
get drunk.
blame Tamika for that if she's watching. The producer, if you're watching, that's your fault last night because y'all was still talking. She supposed to still ended on y'all,
Yeah. She was
and I was
asleep.
so tired coming back from Jacksonville. I was just too tired to do anything, man.
Mm.
Robert Thomas, he in the clear lane now. I don't know where no clear lane that he at. Todd went
Man,
out too.
hey Drew, he
Well,
better stop riding there. He better stop riding by himself. He
yeah,
all over the
he.
place.
Ah, well, we got a great show lined up for y'all as soon as we can get everybody in because I want everybody expressing themselves on this topic. So, as soon as we can get everybody in, we will be talking about several things. I don't know where Todd went at. He dropped out just now.
Right.
They all are out doing things and at 12 o'clock on a Saturday. But make sure y'all share this. We're going to talk on some subjects pertaining to the violence, not only in this city, but across the country. It's at an epidemic. It's worse than the pandemic, really, even though the pandemic uh, uh, affects a lot of people. This affects a certain segment of our population, and it's a pandemic within our community, and we need to do some things about it and address it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy. Do I have a question for you, Drew? Do you think it's starting up there? Do you think it's trickling down for up there in Washington D.C.? Because you know they ain't got it together. You think some of that trickling down?
I don't know whether you're talking about Washington D.C. with all the violence up there, or you talking about the guy, the
No, I'm
lawmaker.
talking about. I'm talking about the people who run in the Republican, the Democrat, all the leadership. The leadership.
Well, I don't know whether it's that systematic or that deep. I know that it is deep when it comes to the other side with economics, like Jay
Mhm.
Jones like to whisper, it's economics.
Economic,
You know,
right?
yeah, and it's all about economics when we get into these subjects that we're going to be talking about. It is all about economics,
Mm-hmm.
um, because we know that the industry, especially the music industry, is driven by profits, and the only way that they're going to get those profits is by selling this music. And what we got the subjects that we'll be getting into. The first one that we're going to be talking about is, and we want Todd to give us, as we were talking about it earlier, the influence that rap music has on our youth. And you know, and it's not only our youth. You got some 20 and 30-year old people with the same mentality that these kids have, and it's not helping them if they're looking at the kids that are the older adults that are right a few years older than them, and seeing
Right.
that they're doing the same thing, have the same habits. Then how do we control that? How do we flush this out of the system?
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Um,
Bernard, because Todd keep fading out
right,
too
right.
because he's at
And,
a
and you know
coaching.
what? I'm gonna piggyback on you, Joyce, about this. It's like it don't matter how old you is, the way it's going now. The young guy who got killed in Memphis, he was 36. He had a beef with these people for over 5 years. They tried to kill him 5 years ago, you know.
Mhm.
And he just happened to have been vulnerable at the wrong time, and they got him. My thing is this: I don't understand, you know. Um, you got to have, you can't have a good record saying good things. You got to have a bad record saying bad things, and it sell. And you got these kids just sitting around listening to it. And what's really killing us, to be honest, is social media. Back in the days, we didn't have social media. We didn't have, Facebook. We didn't have Instagram. We didn't have all what we have now. So these kids can stay home and just constantly get the information, get the information, get the information. At the end of the day, they don't have to hit the street. All they got to do is go in their room, shut the door, and it's on.
Yep.
Prime example, these young girls, they can go in their room, 10 and 9 years old, and get on social media and talking to a grown man, 30 and 35 years old, and get sucked in. The parents,
That's the I got
giving the
backup
kids too
license.
much information. The parents are letting these kids go free instead of grabbing and say, you know what? It's something really going on, man. We need to save our kids, but they don't care. They got other stuff going on in the other room, you know.
Right.
So you remember when I don't know what we need to do, but I think we need to, us as black men that care, we got to have a summit some way, somehow, man. I don't care if it's 10 people there. Like the Million Man March, and that was what, about 20 something years ago, and
30.
and we and we haven't came back together since. And
Yeah.
Farrakhan organized this, so it's gonna take us it's gonna take us, man, to try to save our kids, man. We may not save all of them, but we got to start some way, Jewish and y'all, to stop the violence.
That's correct. Todd, are you ready? Todd Jr.
Um,
Well, my
he not
thing about this rap music, and it's a detriment to our community. It's a detriment to the nation, really. But see, certain segments of the establishment, they don't care about this particular side of the country. They don't not this particular section of the country. This they don't care about us
right,
enough
right.
to think that first of all, this kind of music shouldn't be on our airways. It shouldn't
Mm-hmm,
be that accessible to our children,
mm-hmm.
through YouTube and everywhere else. If they monitor me and you on and put us in Facebook jail
Facebook
all the time
all the time. Yeah,
for cuss words, for going off on the wrong people, for
yeah,
doing all these things, but then they don't monitor the level of influence and to provoke violence.
yeah,
You're putting if you taught something over and over and over again, then it becomes part of your mentality, it becomes
yeah,
part of your thinking. Just like if you went to medical school and you're learning how to be a heart surgeon, the more you do it, the better you are. And the same thing applies to everything in life. The more
yeah,
you hear it, or the more you do it, the more you replicate it, the more it becomes a part of you. You can
yeah,
just talk about it off the top of your head, but you have to be able to. Um, we have to be able to tell our lawmakers that enough is enough,
Yeah.
and it's influencing our kids. It's doing us a great detriment, and
Yeah.
we got to do something about it. I wanted to
Yeah.
get Todd in here so we can. Todd, can you hear us now? Todd, you muted. You muted. I think he's still out in the park because Todd is out there with our kids every day. He's out
Yeah.
there and he's on the ground level. You know,
Yeah.
he's getting them at an early age and trying to train them up and keeping them in line so they can stay out of trouble. He's one of those
Right.
youth coaches out there. And what we need, like you said, we need a summit. We need a
Yeah.
summit where everybody understands that it's about these kids and not about them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Let me see
Mm.
if he's on now. Can you hear us, Todd?
Yeah, I can hear you now, man. I
Yeah,
don't know what's going on.
you was muted. You was muted. You had hit the mute button for some
No,
reason.
no, no, no. Even there, could I couldn't even see or hear you all.
Oh, okay. Well, we saw you. Well, and wish you could get to where you could sit down somewhere and had one of those little phone stands so we could, whenever you on location. We know you out there with the kids on the ground level, and we were
Yes,
talking
sir.
about the amount of influence that rap music has on our youth. And if you want to,
Yes, sir.
talk about it, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I feel, my personal opinion, that rap music has a lot to do with our youth. Even though I think about it myself, when I used to listen to certain rap artists and certain songs will make you want to tear up a city. I remember sometimes listening to Pastor Troy. I remember sometimes listening to Tupac and Camouflage, and it'll make you want to just tell some things. Sometimes it depends on your mood, what your mind state you're in. So music is very important, and music definitely influences our youth. That I feel here in Savannah Chatham, because now this rap music that we hear all the time now, it's about killing, it's about a op, it's about smoking a loud pack of somebody. It's about revenge. It's about pride. It's about murder. It's about drugs. It's about sex and violence. So those things there. If our youth continue to hear that and that be their main influence, then what kind of outcome do you think that we're going to have in the city? And we've been seeing that.
Yeah, and what is ops? I was trying to figure out. I know it's a military term for special ops, and you got your people going and do things, hit squads, all kind of stuff. What
Mhm.
is operations? Is short for operations, but what is ops in the rap world? Can you tell everybody out there?
It's the enemy. The op is the enemy.
Oh, your opposition.
Yes, sir. Opposition.
Oh, okay. Your
Yeah.
opposition. I got
Mhm.
you. Yeah, it's terrible. We got to do something about it. We want people to understand that we're going to do what we're going to be doing here at ATR in the next couple of weeks over the two shows that we have that we're going to highlight uh, uh, stopping the violence, and we want you to be a big part of that, Todd, on
Yes,
our
sir.
vulnerable communities and the watchdogs. We're going to be doing off of those two platforms. We're going to be doing probably a 10 segment um, event for stopping the violence. Stopping
Yes,
the
sir.
violence. We got to be able to stop it. There go Robert. I don't know. He must have done got out of Newberry, South Carolina now, and probably in a safe zone. Don't let him
Well, he
hang
was
you.
hot with me, Bernard.
Huh?
He got hot with me. When gonna put me back in?
No, you ain't never came back
You
in.
know, I'm messing with you. I
Well,
said,
that
Bernard
Robert
put on a
something else,
jacket.
man.
Bernard get first seat now.
Yeah, yeah. You're looking better than us, isn't it, Rob?
Hey,
And I said, oh, he about to go be pastor now.
Yeah, Pastor America. Rob, we were
Pastor man,
talking.
there you go.
Rob,
The honorable Jay Jones has requested that y'all please text him the link.
okay, I'll send it to him. He got it.
Mrs. Jones has him out. Mrs. Jones has him out doing errands today.
If you look on his Facebook page, he got it. If you look in Messenger, you got it, Jake. It's already in your Messenger. But Robert, we were talking about the influence of rap music. All of us have said our You go ahead and say what you want to say about it.
Oh man, that's a perfect start. One of the things I really want to bring Tevin Byers back on to do, and we talked about this when he gets a moment, is to come back and break down the rap lyrics, the rap songs that are about meaning. You know, when Run DMC and all of them were out there, it was about a meaning. It was about activism. The only real rappers out there that's talking about stuff, in my opinion, is Lil Durk and Lil Baby, and a few of the female rappers. Outside of that, it's about garbage. And so I'm glad you started about that, because I learned somewhere a few weeks ago, somebody said this, and it's so true. Words are like seeds. And when you say words, you're planting a seed, whether you say that about somebody, about yourself, or if you're throwing words in the environment for these young people to pick up. So when you plant that word and you talk about murder and drugs, that young person is going to take that and they're planting that in their mind. And so we got to do a better job. So I'm going to bring Tevin on, because Tevin will break all that stuff down, the lyrics and all that. I mean, because, you know, Lil Durk, they talk about pain, but they talk about it in a way that says, look, I don't want you to repeat this. So, you know, it's just, that's a powerful thing.
Yeah, it's terrible. And we got to do better. We have to find some kind of way. You know, one of the things that I also was saying was that we had over the last 20 years, it seems like it's been a systematic plan to destroy, to break up our continuity. We lost so much over the last few years because we haven't been able to have that degree of unity so that we can do things. They know that if you put us together and we're united, we are powerful people. And it seems like they had a plan to really do it to us, and they started separating the men, the women, the male and the female. When they put them in the projects, the male couldn't come. That's taking a man out of the household. There's all kind of plans that they have for us, and we just aren't woke enough to see it and realize it and to fight it and combat it in some type of way. But we got Dr. Jamal Torre that just came in also, and we will thank you, Dr. Torre, for jumping on and being able to enlighten us with your thoughts on this.
You see, he ain't saying nothing to Torre for driving.
Torre is in Savannah. Torre is out of town. Torre is in Savannah.
Boy, RG something else, man.
Torre, your line
But I gotta keep up something gonna make it laugh.
Man, I'm gonna bring you a turkey. I'm gonna bring you a turkey on Wednesday.
Hey, I'm fine with that. Hey, make sure you cook it first.
I know it.
Dr. Torre.
Go ahead, Jamal.
West 17, US 321 Fort Hardy.
Torre, can you hear us, Dr. Torre?
Don't crap.
He must be in South Carolina too. Can you hear us?
No.
Now he got
Jamal, turn your camera on. If you turn your camera on, we'll be able to hear you better. It's just the bandwidth ain't sometimes that good.
Can you hear us now?
Sit down, Cole.
Because I wanted to get yes, sir.
I know one thing I can piggyback on what you just said, Mr. Hall. Oh, that's Jamal. Go ahead, Jamal.
Sit you behind that.
I was going to ask the question.
I'm gonna whoop you.
Is that Reverend Bernard Brown right there? Is that Reverend Bernard Brown?
That's him.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Bishop,
sir.
get it right.
He said call him Bishop America.
Hey, I'm versatile.
I like that.
I'm versatile, boy. I can go boo, 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 boo.
But
you're still a hell.
See that? See what God did? Took him out already because he lost signal. He must be traveling on the back roads. Well, you know, we got our guys. They're all over the country doing things, participating in certain things, enlightening our people, and that's what it's all about. Todd, go ahead and piggyback on what you wanted to piggyback on.
Yes, sir. I will blame it more on us than I will do the others. And this is the reason why I say this right here. In the entertainment industry, you got to think about it. A lot of these record labels and companies, they are rich and wealthy people who, of course, we know that they don't live this type of lifestyle at all. Where the problem becomes is that when they get us and we get money, we the ones, and I'm talking about the entertainers, they're entertaining and they're getting paid to poison our youth. They're getting paid to do it. So therefore, do you think their kids in the trenches? Do you think their kids still on the corner selling dope? Do you think their kids carrying guns or whatever? No, they're not doing that. But however, our kids are the ones that's picking up these guns and trying to live their life because they feel like the only way I'm gonna be respected or get accepted in as a person, this is what I got to be doing. This is what I got to become, because if I don't become this, if I work at Food Lion, I'm a lame. If I work at Kroger's, I'm a square. If I work at Sam's Club, I'm a punk. See, this is what it has become, but we got to wake our kids up ourselves and even challenge the music industry. We're tired of this crap. I remember before, it was a long time ago. I remember Tupac when he first came out with Thug Life. Man, they broke his CDs and threw his CDs all on the ground and did all kind of stuff and say, get rid of his music. Well, why we don't do that to our own? Why we don't do that to our people and say, look, we tired of hearing this crap. If you gonna rap, inspire. If you're gonna give music, tell jokers how to clean stuff up. Tell them how to get businesses. Tell them how to become entrepreneurs. Tell them how to become leaders. See, we don't hear none of that. Our girls, oh my God, I have 2 daughters, but my God, I'm sitting here like, I have 10 kids, 8 boys and 2 girls. But if it was the other way around, man, I probably would be up under the bridge, because this music that these children have, these girls want to be thoughts. These girls want to be hoes. These girls want to be all kind of stuff. It's ridiculous, man. We're teaching them how to not value themselves.
Let me add to that too, really quick. Todd, you started with you didn't want to blame the industry, but I gotta blame the industry. I'm gonna tell you why. Biggie and Tupac really were not at having beef. They never had real beef.
Right.
It was a storyline created by the industry. Just like Nicki ain't got no real beef with Trina and all them. That's created by the industry. The problem is, now this is what we need to step up as people with common sense, is the entertainers got to say, you know what, I'm not going to fulfill that narrative for your check. I'm not going to go down my sister or my brother for your check. See, but I agree with you on the rest of it. But we're so, and I don't mean no harm when I say this, we as a community are so used to bowing down to white Protestant men that we don't sometimes get it. It's okay to tell them, no, I ain't doing that. And you might lose your job, but stand on your values.
Yeah. But you're right.
That's correct.
You're right. All y'all absolutely right. But if you go back in the days, who was funding the money for these rappers and these who was funding the money? The white man was funding the money behind it. If you look at these shows, they push you, they fund the money, and you do the dirty work. Period.
It's all about money. It's all about economics, like Jay said. We real quick, Miss Davis, please do stream it anytime you want to any shows off of our platform. Stream it to wherever you want, because that's what it's all about. It's about us sharing it. When we put share down there, that means that we want you to share it anywhere that you can, wherever you can, by any means that you can. So please feel free. You don't even have to ask for permission from me, because I know that you're with the great my brother. I love my brother, Pastor Smalls. You with him. So just do what you have to do at any time, my sister.
Hey, I had a question. Last night on my show. Is behind every problem, is it a solution? Is it a solution behind every problem? Right now, we got a youth killing problem. So now, we got to find a solution. Everybody, you got people who talk, and we put these people in office and we go vote for them. And it's like this here, stop vote for people just because they sound good and their lives bigger than the other lie. We got to do research on who we put in office. We got to do research, because now, prime example, back in the days, our grandmothers was 65 and we was 12. These days, the grandmama is 35 and the kids is 25. And so back in, it started kids raising kids. And that's where it got out of hand. Kids raising kids.
I had a speech back in 2014 at a church, and I was telling y'all about And I brought that up 2014, 7 years ago, and I said that's part of our problems these days. We have
Yeah.
kids raising kids, and
Mhm.
how can a kid tell another kid what to do in a way that's going to be uh, conducive for them to doing the right thing in their life? Robert back with us. Jamal and Robert, y'all both traveling, I know, so they're
Look,
gonna keep
I
going
I
in
got
and
in trouble
out.
trying to send.
Go ahead.
I was like, what just happened? But yeah,
You still going in and out.
Um,
You ain't on 95 yet?
oh no, I said I tried to send Jay the link. Oh yeah, I'm almost tired of him. It's just it was a bad wreck, and just stopped there.
Oh, okay. I haven't said that black kids buy one CD, whereas white kids buy 12 CDs, and it is they're funding the industry. They
mhm.
know that they keep their kids away from doing that. You don't see no other. Do you see any other race out there doing what we're doing with as far as these kids aren't being influenced by um, the white kids aren't going and doing what our kids are doing, and it's a problem. You know, they're
Mhm.
not. They're not out there shooting each other up and killing each other and on the corners every day. And we have to get this. We have to get away from doing that because uh, in order for us to get to break this pattern, in order for us to break this mold that they made for us and that we're steady falling into, we have to be able to change the way that we think, and we have to be able to change the way that these kids think these days. White kids have more
Mhm.
disposable
Yeah, you
income
know.
to do this. Well, they're buying all the tapes. Must be if they're buying 8 and 12 of them and giving it to their black friends. Must be because it's part the parent. Those people who would want this to happen in our community would want them to do that anyway. But I don't know whether it goes that deep. But if we can't put anything by anybody these days.
It's no
Um,
more it's no more tapes. Now
Let me,
we live in a internet fast paced society. Kids can go on YouTube, kids can
Yeah.
go on any kind of thing and get music just like that, no matter if they black, white, Hispanic, whatever. I think that what the main problem is now is that we allowed it for so long to it's now become like Robert was saying, life and death is in the power of the tongue. So whatever you speak it, you sow it. And matter of fact, couple of rappers that I was listening to and I was listening to their music. If you look at them now, they spoke their death. Some of them spoke their own death. That's how powerful this stuff is. So
Mhm.
I
yeah.
done heard the guy say, I got shot up, I got this, I OD, and rapper Juice, he got a song. I can't remember the song right now, but I'll go back and have it ready to let you know about the next time we talk about this. But this guy talk about how he was gonna die, and he died the exact same way that he said he was gonna die.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. Uh,
And
uh, uh,
let
uh,
me go.
Travis Scott concert. What'd you say, Robert?
Hold on, let me say about what you just said, Julius. You're exactly correct. But the problem is, our generations have been taught that materialistic things are valuable, and they are in a certain way. What we got to start doing is start investing, right? So when you get that stimulus check or when you get that tax money, we need to start being intentional about investments, right? And I'm not talking about going to get a CD at the bank. I'm talking about some real life investing in property or stocks and bonds and things like that. And that's how we've been left out the game so many times. It ain't just by our fault though. It's by design. But we just got to start changing that narrative. I'm glad you said that earlier. That stop wasting money on stuff that ain't gonna mean nothing tomorrow.
That's correct
Build your money.
because we've been brainwashed into thinking that our money should be separate, that our money together is nothing, that somebody's going to cross you, don't trust each other. These things have been put into our mentality to make sure that we fail, and it is working. It is working. If you don't have money, big money, so you can trust each other, you don't even see the ones with big money doing it. You don't see them doing it.
Right.
And it's a problem. And to get back to what we were saying, Todd, about the music and its influence, Travis Scott had at his concert where the 8 people got killed, 9 now with the little boy that just died 2 or 3 days ago. 9 people got killed at this thing. You know what the name of his darn concert was? The whole platform, the whole title of the concert was "Meet Me on the Other Side."
Mm-hmm.
That's death. He's talking about dying. What kind of mess is this?
He about to talk about paying some lawsuits.
Who promotes this? Meet Me on the Other Side is the name of
Well,
the...
you know, Julius, we have always been the Sambos. Some of us still ain't woke up.
Yeah,
We always been Sambo.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely correct. And we you know, this music talks about death. It talks about violence. It talks about sex. It talks about degrading women. It talks about ugliness. It talks about everything to make everybody look negative upon us. Because then when they see one black person out there doing some stupid stuff, they look at all of us under the same light.
Yeah.
And we have to be able to change this. We got to change this trajectory that we're on. And see, they got smart. They couldn't do it to us, to Robert and Bernard and me, even because we were too smart to fall for it. But now these kids, they got them not only drinking and smoking at 12 and 13 years old, having sex all day long at 14, 15. All my little boys having sex. All the little kids I'm mentoring. All of them smoking. And I'm trying to, I don't want to give up on them because I want to help them.
Yeah.
You know, I got to change something in them. If I give up on them, who else going to try to help them and tell them, don't do this? They'd all want to buy a car so they can run stop.
But you know what? That's why I like Lil Baby. That's why Lil Baby is one of my favorite people and favorite rappers. I'm gonna tell you, it was something as simple as a tattoo. And he was being interviewed. He said, the man asked him, why you never got tattoos? You know, all our rappers got that. He said, because I've always wanted to be a rapper, but I want to be seen as a professional. When you start thinking beyond what you see, that's what we got to start doing too. You know what I'm saying? And so many of us just think about that dollar. Yeah, it's cool to have that dollar. Yeah, you can go buy more materialistic stuff. But where's your integrity?
Yeah, but you know what? The number one problem is too, we letting these rappers raise our kids. That's the problem. We let rappers raise our kids. Not all of them. I want to say this here. Not all kids are bad. We got some good kids out there, and we got it's some good foundation. Like I work with kids at Swanee, and I see them every day coming there. Their foundation is set. Their foundation is good. Whether it's 2 parents or 1 parent or whatever, the foundation is good. But at the end of the day, they put all us in the same box. So at the end of the, we got to find a solution to catch up, because we've been behind the 8 ball, like Jules said, 20 years ago, and we still going through the same thing. Don't y'all get tired of saying the same thing for the last 30 years? At the end of the day, I mean, you get tired of it. You wear yourself out. You lose sleep, you know. And the way they treat these young black women's, man, the way they treat these young, it is a shame. I mean, I hear it every day from my daughter and her you know, her friends, and we lost. We got to find us something, man. We are absolutely lost.
And if I may add to Bernard's piece, you know what, Bernard, what we got to start doing and being very, and this, I want the black, and I complain about them all the time. I want the black church to show up in a very new, unique way for our community. We've got to start, the Native American culture is one of my favorite cultures because they do storytelling. They pass down information. We have lost so much of our identity and our history till our kids don't know who they are.
Right.
Well, you realize that John Lewis, and Bernard, don't cuss me out, I'm not using this particular example because it's voting, but when John Lewis got his skull broke. Think about that. His skull broke so that we could vote.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
Yeah.
You learn that these people had dogs after them and getting bit just to go eat. Man, please, our kids don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we got Dr. Jamal back. Doctor, we were talking about the influence of music, rap music on our kids, and how over the last 20 years, 20 or 25 years, that it's been a system put in place, a plan put in place to destroy us. If you want to elaborate on that, you can now.
Yeah, because when my brother Minister Todd Rose was saying what he was saying, that it was something that and because my phone connection, the iPhone is not good with StreamYard, I couldn't say it. And he's absolutely correct. And what Brother Robert Bryan was saying, and I'll share this with y'all.
Uh-oh.
This is why black folks ain't got freedom. This is why that type of stuff. That's why black folks ain't got freedom. But I'm gonna share this with y'all. What happened, in particular, in the 1990s. In the 1990s, hip hop began to go towards having consciousness, having with regards to discussing political elements. With regards to, you had artists like KRS-One, you had Brand Nubians, you had Public Enemy. They were not throwing it out there. But then there was a competing interest that also came into play that came on the West Coast, and that's with regards to gangster rap. So what happened? You had these A&R people who looked at that. It was an issue for them, for black people now to call themselves queens, to call themselves kings. It was a problem for that because they had to still continue the line going back to the very beginning when they bring our ancestors over here to destroy who they are. But with regards to gangster rap, as they were calling it, that then fed into the narrative for black folks now to cause harm to one another. As long as you cause harm to one another, it's okay. But when you now want to challenge this system, this Caucasian-led system of oppression and racism, it becomes a problem. We cannot have y'all out there being the liberators of the people. We can't have that. But if you want to be the destroyers of the people, we will help you be the destroyers of the people, and we'll promote you as such. And then guess what started happening? We started buying into it. So I tell folks, guess what? It just ain't the children. It's the god doggone adults. It's even some of the grandparents who also have the mentality of destruction, that we pass it on, we foster it with regards to how we function. And so absolutely, that is the case today. And so I tell folks, check this out. What we see happening, because I tell folks, we don't control the black community. The media controls the black community. The media tells us how to function, and we run along with that. But there are a few of us out there that have always been in between all this madness, who have been the voices of reason. And now what Brother Brian was saying, like I said, they've been the voices out there to tell us how we need to function. And so we got to have more of us. And I was going to share this with Brother Todd, Reverend Todd Rose, to say that, but the problem is we scared. We scared. Jokers are scared. Everybody's scared. The children scared. Teenagers scared. Parents scared. Everybody's scared. People don't want to stand up and speak out. That's why I kind of hate it when Bishop Bernard Brown go and tout Julius Hall. But one thing I'm going to say is Julius Hall is not scared. Robert Bryant's not scared. Bernard Brown is not scared. Todd Rose is not scared. Natalie Leggett is not scared. Sergeant McKeith is not scared. But it's so many of us who are scared, and then we look at the people who are scared like they're our leaders. The ones who are not scared are our leaders. That's who we need to be following, and that's what we need to go out there. And we don't be afraid about nothing. We stand out and speak out, because that's a part of self-hatred. When you are afraid to speak out for yourself, when you know stuff is wrong, that's a part of self-hatred. So again, I'm saying y'all are the liberators, and we got to have more we just need to make sure the liberators are constantly putting it out there, that we don't never, I told somebody yesterday, I said, we don't never silence ourselves. We put it out there, even if people don't like it, even if they get mad, like, why you always coming with that black stuff? Because, fool, you need this black stuff, because your ass is insane.
That's correct.
But you know what?
Correct.
I had to think about it the other day, Jamal. I said, why is it okay to have a cast of all white people, but you can't have a cast of all black people without somebody questioning it?
Right.
That blows my mind every time. I'm like, why can't it be that way?
Yeah.
Y'all done had it the last 400 years. Can we get a slice of the pie?
Yeah.
So what is so crazy? How you have aliens, you have aliens, or you have cartoon animals, and they speaking with British accents. What is that? They speak with British accent. So you see how they constantly put themselves
I like
out there. But I'm just saying that with regard to that. but with us, when just like what you threw out there, but when we want to have things that show our humanity, it becomes an issue. And I'm like, no, now I don't know if y'all got to it because again, like I said, my connection went out or stuff like that. I want to throw something out there about regards to Kyle Rittenhouse, and because I'm gonna say something about this later on, but what this is about, I tell folks this: that is the chicken coming home to roost. That Caucasian America, when you don't stand up and speak out for black folks and the injustice of black folks, they will come and visit you. But I'm going to say this right here to the black community. It's a case of the chicken coming home to roost also. When we don't stand up and speak out on the wrong that's going on, when we talk about no squealing, no snitching, and all other stuff like that, that is the chicken coming home to roost when they not cause damage to us and kill us and cause harm to one another.
We don't want to do what's right, and they're teaching our kids to not do what's right. They thinking that if somebody do something totally wrong, then kill 10 people, and somebody tell them, oh, he's snitching. He done killed 10 people. He killed your cousin. These kids are so messed up in the head that they don't mind dying. They don't mind shooting and killing nobody. They don't mind going to prison. And I'm serious, they don't mind. And you would think that, well, yeah, they mind. They just play. No, they don't mind. I talk
my
to
brother.
This
What you said, that's what it is. Let me tell you, man. Savannah, this world, our youth has become Iraq. They had the Iraq mentality. You know, back when the government went against bin Laden, they were saying they had the suicide bombers and they'd die. It was like an honor to die for what they believe in. It was an honor to die for whatever they was fighting for. Now it is an honor in the streets to live by a code and a certain way to die. So guess what? If I'm thugging and I go out here and I shoot somebody or whatnot, it's honor. They take honor in that. So what happens when you have people that think like that? What happens when you have a generation that think like that? Like, you know, I got bodies, I got rank, you know, I it's like being in the military, but in a different way, you know? Yeah. So just like the military get honor for wars and serving, the streets give honors for serving as well. But what are the accolades in that? Death, prison, but separation, division. That's what's hurting us.
But then the young people don't see that. I told somebody this a while ago. Everybody wants to belong to something or some type of group, right? And if that is that group that's accepting in your mind, that's accepting you, oh, we do things that we like, you're not seeing that part of it all the time. That's why I think you said earlier, Todd, we gotta be. It burns me up. It burns me up every time I think about they put them bricks on Broughton and we got a crime problem. That's a dumbass mayor. I'm sorry, I said it. That's my frat brother. That don't make sense to me, because we've got to change that sense of belonging in our young people. And when it's the people that look like you and you still don't get it, that's one of the big problems when our leaders don't see it. And it burns me up because these young people don't have to be in that situation. But that's where their sense of belonging lies. How about we funnel money into these youth programs? How about we funnel money into these churches and these fraternities and sororities and civic organizations so that we shift the narrative on a sense of belonging? And I probably shouldn't have said what I said a minute ago, but it burns me up that our young people are dying by the minute for dumb leaders.
Yeah, but you know what? We calling leaders, and they're not even leading. Stop calling the wrong people leaders. At the end of the day, all us on this platform right now are leaders because we trying and we talking about it. we got leaders out there. Just because y'all calling them a leader, they don't mean they're leading. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everybody got a price tag. Everybody got a price tag. If the price tag is right, then they're gonna do whatever the price tag is. Johnson, you know, I ain't calling the first name. Seriously, these leaders are they're selling us out for a price tag.
Yeah, but I was gonna say this right here, and you know, and what Todd has said, and what some of y'all shared, I'm gonna show y'all. And again, when we talk about putting information out there, you know, when people talk about, you know, and like we talk about Iraq, someone couldn't even live in Iraq. Someone couldn't even live in Liberia. Couldn't even live. The stuff that those folks go through that you see on television, you don't even understand the bulk of it. I tell folks the first time I went to Haiti, I'm like, yo, guess what? In the United States, even in the worst situation in the United States, still better than the condition that we see with some folks living in Haiti. But then also I throw this out there to folks too. That when you see how their world, they have not gotten outside that world. But something else too. The same people that have been involved with the mafia, been with the crime, and that even when you look at groups of people who were killers, guess who informed on everybody? It was the leaders of the organization. That's how crazy it is. The same one to tell you that you guys show me loyalty. Guess what? When they not a trap, they gonna report on everybody, and this is documented. How you got people saying, "I'm in prison right now because the doggone leader of our group went and snitched on all of us." But was telling we ain't going to kill people for him, and he's telling everybody. Sister's talking about I'm in jail because I'm in prison because he did this, and I'm like, and I sit back and laugh like, see that's that stupidity. Your mind, you ain't even realizing it, and y'all talk about it, you glorify it, but you ain't realize that the very ones that y'all go and try to champion will turn around and use you to not get a better deal. It happens, but people don't tell them that, and so they think that they glorify it. I'm like, look at them, like y'all crazy. Because them jokers will turn around you because they know that you stupid. Like this system know that you stupid. They use you. Everybody use you. So I might say now it's time for you to be a man or a woman, be independent in your thought. I need you not be scared no more because they were going to use you just like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to say to Tammy Stone, she say, how do we change their mindset? Well, Tammy, we're this is just the first show of about I said 10, but we're going to do as many as we have to do to start to change the narrative and start to change the mindset. And because we're a people that's in a sunken hole right now, and we have to dig ourselves out of this pit ourselves. So, like I said earlier, and all of you guys are invited to come on the we're going to do it over. We got 11 shows. We're going to do it over 2 of these shows. And those 2 shows will be the Watchdogs and Our Vulnerable Communities. And what we want to do is we want to highlight stopping the violence. And we're going to have people come from all over. If you want to be a part of this conversation, just let us know. Myself or Dr. Robert Bryant. Let any of us on this platform know, so that we can schedule you to be on one of the shows one of these days, because we got to have the answers ourselves. It's not about any of us. I don't care if I can, as long as we can help somebody. It ain't about us being out there taking all the accolades for doing it. Like right now, when we leave here, I'm going to Hollis Mitchell's Stop the Violence rally at Lavo Park on the east side. We have to be able to unite and do these things together. It's not about us; it's about our children. So we're going to be doing it off of the Watchdogs with me and Dr. Bryant, and we're going to be doing it off of our vulnerable communities.
Oh, well, okay. Let me say this, Julie. I think we start a narrative. I mean, we change the narrative. I'm gonna answer the question that was presented. I think it begins when it's gonna be a lot of policy and a lot of ideas. And 2 of them that popped in my head is we gotta put our young children in a better situation when it comes to learning, and we gotta equip our parents to know that your child ain't dumber than other kids. Your child is actually smarter than the other kids. So when that teacher tells you your child's a behavior problem, they ain't challenged. I mean, they can probably do a great level up. So that's a confidence piece. The other piece is we've got to teach our young people, when you make this kind of mistake, these are the consequences, right? And I say it all the time. The other part of that is we got to stop putting people in jail for nonviolent crimes, because most of the people that get damaged are young Black males.
Well, with something that I can tell you guys personally that I've been working on a program called the Reality Check program. And in that Reality Check program, what it does is that it gives, like they said, what would change their mindset is to make you know reality. And some of the concepts I wanted to do was taking these kids through various phases of negative things, negative outcomes, so they can see and experience and to know this is what's going to happen to you. And this is what the position you're going to be in, whether it's death, whether it's prison, whether it's whatever. that's what you'll see. But I don't only want to show them the negative. I also want to show them the positive. If you do decide to turn your life around, if you do decide to go back and get your GED, if you do decide to go to trade school, if you do decide to get at the ILA, if you do decide to go to the Georgia ports, we need to not only show them the negative, but we also need to show them the positive too. But we need to be consistent. I think that's the main thing in our communities. When we have these rallies and stuff, it's fine, but it's here and then it's out, then it's gone. We need to learn how to be consistent. Once we start being consistent in our communities, then guess what? The community will gain trust in us because they'll see that we're consistent. They'll see that we're involved. And then guess what? That would take and break people down to where, guess what? They probably was here with the big chest, but now they're starting to deflate now and be more in tune with making a change. So I believe, we definitely have the resources with each other that we can come together and we can make these things here happen, but we also must be consistent.
Yeah,
that's correct. That's one of the things I preach.
Well,
go ahead, Bernard.
I'm gonna break something down to y'all. Okay, Martin Luther King killed by a black man. Malcolm X killed by a black man. Tupac killed by a black man. Biggie Small killed by a black man. Rappers killed by a black man. Back at killing our own self.
Well, King wasn't killed by a black man, is it?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. They put that Oliver North. He didn't kill Martin Luther King.
Lee Harvey Oswald. I believe.
Yeah. But James Earl Ray. It was James Earl Ray. But
James Earl Ray.
Yeah, James Earl Ray.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I was going to throw something out there that when we're talking about some of this and that things that being consistent. And Todd, I let you know I had to go to a program at Savannah State with some of my people. That's why I couldn't make it out there for your rally, because I wanted to be there at your rally. I want to let you know that. So, but I'm going to go to the rally today, and I'm going to cuss y'all out. I'm going to cuss y'all out at the rally today. I'm going to cuss y'all out because I am so shameful, because just like Julius Hall he know that the name of that park is called the Benjamin Van Clark Park. That's the name of that park. Ain't no god doggone Live Oak Park. So here they get that. So when we go and talk about this, so that's why the young people, so that they don't know who Benjamin Clark was. Benjamin Van Clark, 16 years old, led the civil rights movement in Savannah. But we don't talk about that. And so here you got the park named him and the neighborhood. So people right there on the east side not even knowing it, not knowing about it. Here go a child, a teenager, laying his body on the streets, not knowing whether cars are going to run over him because he's standing for black folks. So, but then here we go having a rally. And I had said to people, how in the hell we having a rally and calling the place Live Oak Park? That right there tells me we got problems. That's the type
assimilation.
That I go and say, this is why I cuss people out and I spit that fire out. Because I'm like saying, you are detached. So you can't be saving me. You don't even know your own story. You don't even celebrate who we are. You celebrate Live Oak. Why don't you celebrate a black man? But then guess what? Well, hold up. No, I'm saying it. But guess what? Y'all adults, and Julius Hall, I ain't picking on you specifically, I'm saying, but y'all adults, y'all know better, and y'all don't even sweat it. Y'all go right along, and then y'all gonna look at the young people. I'm like saying, that's the deal. No consistency about who your greatness is. You are consistently you be consistent about your greatness. That's why you see everything. You got streets named after people. That's why you got money, the people images on. That's why I tell people from the Caribbean and from Africa, I say, let me see your money. They pull their money out. They see them on their money. The United States, we ain't got us on the money. Our name ain't on the street. So when we can celebrate who we are, we don't do that. So I'm just throwing it out there. So when I go out there today, I'm cussing people out. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all got a flyer out there saying Live Oak, and I was like, oh my God. And I know somebody didn't know. I'm like saying that's why we gotta let them know. We correct them all the time.
You're absolutely correct about how long has the park been named Ben Clark Park?
Decades now. Decades.
See, you know what I found out? Now I'm to the defense of some people, you cannot know everything, especially a park in an area that you don't live in. I did not know that it was Benjamin Van Clark Park until you told me when I went on the tour. I've always known it as Live Oak Park. I was not home when it was renamed. So I did not know. It wasn't that major
Well,
of a thing for
let
me
me ask
to
you, what
find
does the
out
marker say?
about. Hold on, Robert. It wasn't that major of a thing for me to go
What?
and find out whether every park was renamed. But it is relevant now because I know that it's Benjamin Van Clock's Park, and we need to tell the people that. We can't be too hard on them because they named it, and then, but some people weren't there and they don't live there, so they aren't familiar with it. So what we have to do is tell people that the park is now renamed and make sure that they know this, because that the reason they put that in that flyer is because it's a reference point. If you tell people to go to Benjamin Van Clock Park, they don't know what the hell you're talking about. So you're right. We are detached, and we need to be able to know where everything of significance to our community is at, and why it was named, and who are these people. They need to take your history tour. It is an amazing tour. It opens your eyes to things to see the greatness in us and what we endured to get to where we're at now, and that is a plan to destroy our progress.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right, and I'll share this with you. The same thing we talk about right now. I tell folks, check this out. I might go and say West Side and all that, but guess what? I have all sides of Savannah. And so just to throw it out there, let y'all understand this right now. So it is my job as a person who lives in the city of Savannah to know something about all of Savannah. So when people go and think about it's just Tatumville or it's just Windsor Forest, I'm like, fool, you are impacted in this entire city. And when you go around here just thinking about your little neighborhood, that's the plan. So when y'all go and talk about these elected officials, that's what they bank on. They bank on you not knowing, not understanding. That's why I tell folks, I play a game, but when it comes down to it, I don't care if I live on the west side. If something happened on the east side, I gotta be down with that. That's that craziness right there. When I make you compartmentalize, just like I tell folks, if you in DC and you think it's just your DC story, but then people in DC, when they're in Savannah, they be like, this is Jamal. That's the same thing happened to us. And I bust out, I said, Berry Farms. They said, that's right, Berry Farms. The projects in DC that's now regentrified. So that's why I tell people, these people here have a template. They have a game. They use the template on you. They use it in each area. They go to this place, and what they bank on, the fact, like I tell people all the time, they bank on you not knowing and not talking to one another. So I say to people, right, if you live in this city, you better know what is going on in this city. But you don't know what's going on in this city. That's why now we get caught up in this stuff. And then I'm always sitting back letting people like, y'all crazy as hell. How you don't know this right here? I'm like saying, I ain't making no excuses for no adults who knew that, because now, like I'm gonna say, people know that neighborhood's called the Benjamin Van Clock neighborhood. City of Savannah even did a book on it. People know it, but see what it is. We don't want to acknowledge it because you know what the deal is. He's a black man. See, black men are not important. Black women not important. So that's what that's about. But guess what? You sure enough know about Ardsley Park. They changed Ardsley Park, Chatham Crescent. They know about that. But I'm just saying, yes, I'm hard on people. I'm hard on people because I might say enough is enough. Time out. Like I said, I ain't got time to play with you. But I'm not throwing that at you, Julius. No, I'm just saying, time out for us. We grown people. We adults. We not no kids. So just you're gonna be isolate yourself in your neighborhood, like that's all to it. In your house, hell no. You live in this city, so it's all the city belongs to you. It's not just with regard to a parade that the city belongs to you. This city belongs to all of you. That is just ain't about no south side, west side, east side, north side. I don't give a damn about any of them sides because it's all sides to me. I have this city. And I know my greatness. This city belongs to me. But guess what? We act like it don't belong to us, just a little neighborhood, a little block. Ain't no goddamn block. It's the entire city. And that's why they use you that they do. Elected officials don't even concerned about you. They can talk about crime in a goddamn Daffin Park, but don't even let black football kids play football over there. You got forced them to do stuff like that. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. You isolate yourself. I'm saying that to the black man and the black woman who listen at this show right now. Stand up, black man and black woman. Y'all see all of them? See, now people who really know Jamal. Y'all know Jamal. Jamal don't be playing with y'all. Y'all know Jamal. Y'all talking about militant and radical. I look at y'all and laugh. Y'all ain't no goddamn militant and radicals. Because people who know Jamal know what Jamal really about. Some of y'all don't know that. That's why I have to sit back and tell y'all I'm trying to pimp slap y'all in y'all senses. I'm saying time out.
Come on, it goes back to what we talked about earlier, right? Our people don't know our history because it's continuously being erased, just like Native history is being erased. And just the mere fact that that park was renamed means that this mayor and this council, majority black, needs to go back and rename it what it is. I don't even. What blows my mind a lot of times, like you said, we'll sit back and just, it's not a big deal. Things like MLK Street. MLK was not going to be East Broad or West Broad. It was going to be 37th Street. But we allow people to tell us what to do, to erase our history, and we're going to have the next decorating.
Mm-hmm. You saying something, Bernard?
Jamal, you're right. You're absolutely right. Which everything you just said. You know what get me is every time Jamal speak, RG speak, Jules speak, Todd speak, and we speak the truth, they're gonna call us radical. They're gonna say, oh, they just radical. Oh, they say black this and black this. But no, at the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to say. I'm gonna say what I got to say, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. We as black people need to stop always, I always say political correct. I ain't got time to be political correct because I can't even spell it. So I
except
know
America After Dark.
You know what I'm saying? Man, I had enough, man. It's like I've been cooking for 24 years, and then my wife passed, and I just said, you know what? I'm burnt out. And the reason why I got motivated back is because, I get tired of looking at something, and I feel like, you know what? I always say, see something, say something. And I say, you know what? These kids right now is growing up need us. They need us so bad. The kids need us. The women need us. And if we can't fight with them and be with them, we're going to be a lost cause, man. I'm telling you right now. I can't sit around and let this happen. Y'all can't sit around and let this happen at the end of the day. So you keep doing what y'all doing, and you speak the truth. And if people don't like the truth, it is what it is.
That is absolutely correct. We're going to get back on topic. And what we're talking about is why does our music have all those things in it? We got to that part about why killing, shooting, degradation, all the ugly things that a person could be about is in there. Sex, promiscuous sex. It's a lot of things in the rap music that's influencing our kids, and we got to find a way, just like the good sister said earlier. Let me see if I can get back to it. I think Stone, about how do we change their mindset, and this is what it's all about. We have to be able to come up with ways, like Bernard said, whether it's a summit. If we have a summit, people got to understand that it's not about them. It's about saving these kids. Because see, people want to throw themselves out there and make it all about them. It's not about you. It's about how we save these kids collectively. We can't do it by ourselves. If Todd and Jay has a rally over here on Tuesday, then and Hollis got one on Saturday, and Jamal got one on next Thursday, we need to all support each other when we can to be there, so we can show that there is some unity. We can't stop this by ourselves. It's going to take all of us. It's going to take a consistent effort from all of us. The only, and we need to understand where our news is coming from. If we're going to give it here on ATR, we need to build ATR up to what it needs to be so that the information can get to where it needs to be, so that you can tune in here and get it like it's supposed to be told, not in bits and pieces or filtered so that it doesn't provide the right information to help our communities. We have to be the answer to what we're looking for. And until we do that, we're going to be in trouble. It's going to take a collective effort. We are all together. We know that we're united, and we just can't stop,
And I'm going to say, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to apologize to the community at large. I'm going to apologize to the community. I'm going to apologize to the community at large. And, because some things, I'm going to let y'all know this. And I should have been saying this other times when I've been on the shows with y'all and discussing this and what y'all brought up. There's somebody in Savannah who gave us a solution. There's somebody from Savannah, Georgia, and He addressed this back in around 2006. Any of y'all know a brother by the name of Michael Porter, who's a counselor right here in Savannah? In 2006, and I got the book right here at my house. Michael wrote a book called Rap and the Eroticizing of Black Youth. He addressed all of this right here. But that's why I'm going to say, because what happened for many of us, we knew what Mike was saying, Mike's information, and we spit some of Mike's information out. So when we talk about solutions, we got the people right here. And that's why I say I apologize that I should have said to y'all folks need to go back and get Mike's book and also get Mike to come and talk about, because Mike put this out in 2006. Somebody right here in Savannah, Georgia. Mike went and did that. But guess what? Again, he talking to other people around the country, but people right here ain't respected. So I'm not saying, y'all need to grab, I'm not saying any of y'all brothers. I'm saying people out there, y'all need to grab Michael Porter. And Mike wrote the book. Nigel Ensign can tell you that. Mike wrote the book. I got an autographed copy of the book. And I said, oh shit, I gotta apologize. So I tell them, so the stuff that we seeing is getting the chickens coming home to roost. Mike had said this. It involves sex, eroticism, violence, all that, the hatred. He addressed all that in the book. Somebody from Savannah, Georgia.
And that'd be good, Jamar, that we need to you know all the connections that we need to tap into. Michael Porter, you need to call him and see whether we can get him on several of these shows. It just don't need to be on one show.
Yeah.
We need to talk on several platforms to have these conversations, because it is our responsibility, whether we don't like it or not. It's our responsibility to do whatever we can. We're the ones that are older now and is going to have a problem. We're the ones that are older, so we need to be able to before we leave this earth, make a way for those coming behind us.
Mm-hmm.
What are the solutions and how do we stop this? Y'all can start. Todd, give us what you think.
I believe some of the solutions we can do is making sure that we understand what's happening first. Before we can do anything, we got to get to the root of the problem. And right now, today, we're discussing some of the roots of what the problem is. Once we identify the roots and what's causing our youth to think, also too, in order for them to open up to us, we have to go to them. We have to be relatable, and we have to come to where they're at. A lot of times, I believe, and I work with youth all the time. A lot of youth open up to me because I'm consistent with them. A lot of youth open up to me and talk with me because guess what? I come to where they at. I don't judge them. I don't sit here and if anything, when they high, I'm talking life into them. I'm not saying, man, you smell like a pound of weed. You dummy, you idiot. I'm not doing that. When they come here, man. You got so much potential in you, man. Man, you can do whatever you want that you could do in life, man. This is not it right here. Better things are ahead, man. Do you believe that? See, when you speak life into them and it's genuine and they know, they will open up to you and they will let you know about the problems and the things that they suffer with. Another thing that we need to do in this community, especially by being a port-driven city and also a trade city, we need to make sure that we helping these young men to understand business. I think that's another thing too, because when it comes down, a lot of these kids now, they don't want to work for nobody. They won't, but they have to understand too, you got to crawl before you walk.
Right.
But at the same time, we need to own job training, because everybody don't want to go to college. Everybody, matter of fact, you got kids now, they don't even want to go to school, but they have to have some type of education. So I believe if we start there will be some kind of thing right there, the solution to problems. Understanding kids where they at, being consistent with them, letting them build trust, because to any relationship, communication is key. So if we open up the line of communication, and then not only that, all these community centers we have in this city, why don't we start opening town hall meetings for youth? Hey, y'all tell us what y'all want to, what's going on in this community? What's the problem? We got to hear it from them. But the only way they're going to come to us if we already go to them first and being consistent. That's why it's important to get in this community. That's why it's important to get into schools. We need to get into schools. That's where the kids at. Let's get into these schools. Let's talk to these schools. Let's get with these principals. Let's have a day where we come eat lunch with them and we just talk about some discussions. They have to see us. If they don't know who you are, they're not going to open up to you.
You're absolutely correct, Todd. Although I have to tell you that I have a different. My kids a little bit older than the ones you probably deal with on a daily basis. These kids they'll be here with me in a few minutes. As soon as this show over, I'm taking them to the rally. They're not my kids, but I treat them like my kids, and they'll come all the time smelling like weed, like you said. But I pop them side the head because I can't be too nice with them because see they take your kindness for weakness.
Mm-hmm.
They do, and they got to have that strong black male tapping them in the chest, making them understand that's not what you do. And it's different ways because you got a different. Your kids' mothers bring them there to the game and everything, and they leave them with you, and it's a little bit different. But my kids, these are the ones I'm telling you about. They ready to buy a car and drive through a stop sign. What the hell? What kind of nonsense is that? They ready. They don't mind dying. They tell me they got to die from something. So what? They'll just be dead.
Hey, buddy, but
it's mentality that I got to deal with, and I'm trying to reach these kids. He tell me he want a brand new car so he can drive through a stop sign. He don't care whether he die or not.
Fix it, Jesus.
He didn't get that off of just thinking. He got that off a rap song.
Yep.
And it's terrible.
Hey, my brother, I understand what you're saying because guess what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like me, with my daddy, he didn't play with me. He used the rod and the iron and the staff. Whatever he used it on. But this generation that we deal with now, that's what I'm saying. Like these kids, a lot of them when they mind made up, they gonna do stuff without thinking. My thing is to give you a different approach to be like, you know what, my brother, because all of us, we have different things like being a part of a body. We all have different strengths. So guess what? That might work for you, my brother, to be a way to be firm, because guess what? It worked for me. With the way you saying, Mr. Hall, it worked for me. But it may not work for others. Others may, be more defiant. Others may want to rebel. Others may want to, you know what? He tried me. And then and then they after you now. So the main thing that I try to do, I try to bridge the gap because guess what? I've been there too. I can understand where they at sometimes because guess what? I hit that blunt before, but guess what? I had a daddy that ain't play with me, so I ain't hit that blunt no more. But at the same time, I understand the pure pressure. I understand the things they're going through. So if I could just work it in one way till I can get them to be like, you know what? Then I can start getting deeper with them and be like, you know what, man, that weed slowing you down, son. That weed, all you want to do is hang out all day. You ain't even working because you want to get high. Now you can't afford that high. Now you want to rob. And you see where that goes at? So it gives you an opportunity to be able to speak to them, and they break down their guard so they'll be willing to open up to you for more things.
Yeah,
that's correct.
And you're right. With me, I deal with kids, and the first thing those young kids say, they say, Coach Brown, I said, what's going on with y'all? They say, Coach Brown, they say, all we want is somebody just to listen to us. They say the older people, instead of they listening to us, they judging us. And that's true. You have to listen. You have to, talk to them like real talk. And you know how people got hotlines for domestic violence. They got hotline for this and hotline that. Do they have a hotline for black people? Just to say,
that's smart. No, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you should have a hotline for black people to say, hey, give us a feedback. And if you do that, have somebody sit there and write down the feedback. Because some black people don't like to be seen. They don't like to be rattle. So you get a hotline. Yeah. And then
the coalition have one, the Savannah Coalition of Youth Leaders. They have one. It is for youth, but anybody can call. It is 1-888-YO Sport. They can call that hotline. They can vent about the stuff you was just talking about. Mm-hmm. And then it's confidential. They can talk about whatever issues, and then therefore they'll be able to take down the issues and bring it back to us. That way we'll know what's going on and be able to help bring the resources.
Right. And you know what, Jules? What's the young lady? I mean, this a bright young lady. She was on our show the other day. Dominique.
Oh man, that's a powerful sister, that boy.
She is, man. She can lead with her. She can have people follow her because that's how powerful she is. This young lady's doing some good things, and like I said, just have have a summit, black summit. I mean, it don't have to be something big. If something small, like Todd said, we can go to the community center, the boys club, or whatever. Once you start it, and then all of a sudden, it get bigger, and bigger. But we can't. But to be honest, we can't do it all by ourselves.
But you know what, Bernard? That's one of the reasons why.
If I can do this, I got Michael Porter on the phone. Michael Porter, I'm letting you know, people they're on the watchdog right now. They need you on the Rabble, the watchdog, because again, they saying your book, Rap and the Rise Side of Black Youth. They say they need you right now, Michael Porter. They say our community's in need, Michael Porter. I got you on the phone, on speaker right now.
Y'all do something they a little hot. No, I'm just playing. But you know what, Bernard?
I got Mike on the phone. Go ahead, Mike. What we saying, Mike?
We cannot allow corporations to wave money in the face of our young brothers and sisters and say, hey, we'll pay you a lot of money if you program your kids to call themselves bitches, hoes, niggas, thugs, and gangsters, and to shake their ass and get money any kind of way. We have to challenge that because it's a form of social conditioning.
Yes, God. There you go.
Toxic seeds in the minds of little 8, 9, 10, 12 years old and tell them you get the American dream. But the cost is you got to talk about killing niggas, shaking your ass, and then we'll make you rich. That programs generations to come to show that behavior. So it feeds the prison system. It feeds poverty and self-destruction, and it gets the kids' minds away from things of substance.
So Michael Porter, I'm letting you know right now, Todd Rose Jr., Julius Hall, Bernard Brown, Robert Bryant, they're going to need you on their shows. I'm letting you know that. So I'm going to send your number. I'm going to put your number out there, Michael. I told him I had to apologize because I said Mike told us about this in 2006. I had to apologize. So I'm just letting you know that. So, brother, they're going to get you. I'll let you know that.
Let him know that we'll be getting in touch with him to come and talk because we got one. Donnie Blank want to know what suggestions do we have for single moms and dads?
Yeah.
And we need to come up with suggestions that we can help save these kids.
So Mike, they saying what are suggestions for single moms and dads? They do like what suggestions you can make for single moms and dads?
Well, one thing we have to do is some basic stuff. We have to get away from social media for a while, turn the TV off, and first sit down and talk. We have to, because a lot of our conversations and what the substance coming is from entertainment industries and media. We have to get back to some things people call old-fashioned. First of all, sit down and talk about some things. We have to get back because if a young girl mind is that I have to be like somebody on these housewives show or basketball wives or some if I have to like Lauryn Hill said once, look at where you been, fake weave like European, nails done by Korean, and I got to have long blonde hair and I have to accentuate my butt in order to be somebody. We have to talk about these things with our kids one-on-one. You have to say, no, put your cell phone, Xbox, social media down. Let's talk about what you believe. Let's talk about what influenced your perception of yourself. These young brothers, we have to talk about what is a man. Are you a man because, you can smoke, call the females bitches and hoes? Mm-hmm. We have to talk about those things with them. We have to start with basic conversations first. And then we can build from there. One thing that communities could do is simply start rites of passage programs. But the problem many people run into is they want to get paid to help a lot of these black youth. There's no money in helping black youth. The money is in when they become patients, clients, parolees. That's where the money is. The
That's
money
correct.
is not in preventing them to become patients, clients, parolees in courts on 11 o'clock news. There's no money in prevention. So we as adults have to have a sense of commitment, an understanding that to help these brothers and sisters, you may not make a dime. You got to do it for the ancestors. You have to do it for the future. You have to do it for the God of the universe. You have to do it with a sense of purpose.
So, all right, my brother, they're gonna be getting in touch with you. So I'm just letting you know that. So I told him, I said, Mike then gave us the solution over 15 years ago now. Over 15 years ago.
Man, what he just said is so deep. And what he just said is that I want others to understand. Because just like he said, you got to do stuff and not look for something. You gotta be willing to do stuff and not look for a payment. You gotta be doing it. You gotta make a sacrifice. It's gonna come with a sacrifice. That's not saying that later on it could get to that point. It maybe can, but right now it need to be people who doing it from their heart, who has a passion. Because guess what? At the end of the day, whether we get money or get paid for it or not, what are we doing?
Yeah,
that is absolutely correct.
At least give me a bean pie and some skim milk. At least give me some skim milk.
It's a nut juice.
Make sure that we get Mr. Porter's information, because like I said, we're gonna do a series on this show, on these shows.
All right, peace and blessings, yes sir.
Jamal just took over the whole damn thing today.
No, he forgot to mute his mic. I forgot to mute his mic. We're going to do a series, and it's going to be over these two shows. It's going to be over. If Jamal want to put it part of it on his, we can, but we're going to do it on our vulnerable communities and the watchdogs, so we can have a panel discussing what we can do, whether we create a summit that we're going to have where we can have different speakers, where we can start raising money, where we can get the churches out, start giving the funds to people like Todd and other people in there. I don't want a dime. I just want it to happen so that we can raise the awareness, so we can stop all this killing, this senseless killing, this senseless violence, these senseless jailings that we need to be involved in. And Todd, you're absolutely correct. We have to make a sacrifice. We got to stop making excuses as to why we can't do something, why we can't appear here, why we can't go do this here. After you get off work, before you go talking about you're watching Andy Griffin, and before you go watching that movie, and before you go watching that cowboy show, come on out. I ain't talking to nobody in particular. I'm just talking to everybody, because those are the only shows I could think of in my head.
But let me tell you, Joyce, I'll go back to Bernard's point. One of the reasons I signed a letter with Clemson was that they have a thing called National Men of Color Summit. When I tell you powerful, Savannah State University, Kim, if you hear me, Georgia needs a National Men of Color Summit desperately. And what it has done is tremendously changed the narrative for lower income young men of color, Latino, Black, who are now, instead of going this direction, are going to college, trade schools, etc. Savannah State, it's in your hands before the PWIs get it, but we're going to see.
Yeah, and Tea Time with Tammy, that's great. We would love for you to be a part of it, because it's not just about any of us. It's about all of us reaching these people, reaching these kids any way that we can, off of any platform that we can. It ain't just about ATR doing this; it's about everybody doing it. So let's get it done. What you saying, Bernard?
You know what? What do people in society love to do? They love to laugh. You know what I'm saying? People love to laugh. Why don't we just say, maybe let's have a comedy show? You know what I'm saying? Just kind of release yourself, because we so deep every day. We so deep. We just so deep trying to live. Sometimes people just need to laugh. That's why I came up with America After Dark. Just laugh and enjoy the moment just for 2 hours. and just be happy. I mean, we so uptight and we just, I mean, people just need to relax and help. We as a black community just need to relax and help one another and stop killing one another and stop criticizing one another and stop. You can't even sit to the table with each other for a whole hour. Got somebody taking it personal. Stop taking shit personal so much. Okay, stop it. At the end of the day, and come back on the show that you enjoy doing and take your head out your ass and forget about what happened and move on because you can help.
I'm sorry,
people.
Mama.
And go to streaming. We can't stream it on the religious channel now because y'all done curse too much, the lady said. But they want to stream it on all the three.
I cussed one time, RJ.
Robert, you start.
Jamal just cussed. Just went on a cussing spree. Let's just.
And you would expect that out of the good doctor, but he
gets like them Omega.
Did not Jesus go to everybody? Did not Jesus go to everybody?
Yeah.
Those who were drinking?
Not those who cuss.
I'm just saying.
Preach,
so you try to act like you up here. So you ain't down here touching the people. You act like you up here. Guess what? You like a leaf in the wind. You go wherever. But guess what? I'm a rooting tree.
Something, man. RG like this. He'll throw a rock in your window, then he'll run.
And I'm about to run to the rally right now since Hollis told me to be there at 1:30, but I was here with y'all. And so
I'll be out there. We'll be out there in a few minutes, Jamal.
I share with y'all Mike's number, so y'all take it from there.
Tell everybody where it's at, Jamal, where the rally is at.
At the rally is 2:00 from 2 to 6. It is at the Benjamin Van Clark Park, also known as Live Oak. Right there on Live Oak Street, and so in the Benjamin Van Clark neighborhood, and it's one of our neighborhoods that again they're trying to move in and take it over. To let y'all know that they're trying to take it over. So y'all be talking about how your grandmama and them had the property over there, but y'all ain't there no more. And that's why then the property value shoot up, and then when you walk through that neighborhood, then they're gonna ask you what you're doing in the neighborhood, so you shouldn't be there.
Exactly. So we're going to the park, everybody. So y'all come out. It's from 2 to 6. It's at we're on the way there after this show is over, and it's at Benjamin Van Clark Park at Live Oak and what park?
You don't got the main day.
Park Avenue.
Live Oak and Park.
Park Avenue.
Yeah, Park, Bolton, whatever, Wahlberg. All it's y'all know where the park is. The old Live Oak Park is really Benjamin Van Clark Park. Y'all come out, hear what's happening, and support the effort to stop the violence.
Show my respects. Send my peace and love. I'm working. I had to stop right now. That's why I say about sacrifice. I stopped to be on this show because I'm out in the field working. But make sure peace and blessing, man. I pray that everything be great. I know it's going to go well because you have some great people that's going to be there, and that's a part of it. So, man, I just pray that it be successful and it gains momentum and it make change.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be a part of it. And Todd, call me tonight, please. So we can call me tonight, Todd, so we can get together.
Yes, sir, will do.
And the best street in Savannah is Park Avenue. Park Avenue, don't get it twisted. Park Avenue, east or west, is the best street in Savannah. Park Avenue, baby. Park Avenue.
I just used to live on Park Avenue.
And I guess the best high school is Jenkins High School, right?
Never. Jenkins was the park.
Touchdown!
Jamal.
Hey, don't make me call Mo Pollard. We'll represent them Bulldogs in a minute now.
Yeah, and I gotta get Mo Pollard. We all got to get on that. We're gonna have a great summit, and we're gonna have a great cast of people over the next 2 days. And women, I'm not leaving y'all out. We need y'all to be able to talk to these kids and the youth also. We're not leaving you out, but we know right now that these kids, and it's mostly these boys, need a strong black male to influence them also on their level. And we're going to bring you all in, I promise you, because it's not just about that, because you have just as many of the girls, like Renard said earlier, social media is the real problem, because they go in their rooms now and turn on social media, and those girls are looking at all these films and videos and everything. They having sex worse than we could have ever imagined having it back then. These kids 15, 16 years old, they're screwing out their brains out. I'm serious. You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely. You're right. I'm gonna ask you a question. And Benjamin? Who's Benjamin Van Clark? Who's that?
1, 2, 3.
He was a civil rights leader here in Savannah, and he got beat so much that he kind of like became incoherent from all that he was doing in the community. Yeah. But they named the park after him. He was one of the leaders here in Savannah back in the day.
All right. So why we can't name him a park for Piccolo?
Man, Piccolo, my boy.
Piccolo should be, given a park also because Bump did everything. Bump was everywhere. Bump was everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. That was my boy.
Yeah.
So it needs to be in the works. Maybe we can get all the women, Keisha Gibson Carter, Alicia Blakely, to look into that. The two at-large leaders. He's from the east side over there, so you got Dietrich and Linda and all them over there that might.
They ain't gonna do it.
Hey, it was a joke. Hey, I'm gonna say this about Piccolo. Then we can go. Piccolo, we had asked me and my brother. We had asked Piccolo, say, if you find somebody that's uglier than you, we will give you $50.
Damn.
He said, if you find somebody that's uglier than you, we give you $50. Guess who he went and got?
Oh.
He went and got his brother.
Damn. I'm almost done.
That was my man. Piccolo was all right.
Piccolo was the boy, man. Piccolo was everybody's boy. Yeah.
We never got around to answering all the questions on here. We'll address those on the other shows because we got a lot to talk about. We have a lot of issues that we need addressed. We need to find out whether there are laws that need to be brought up. I know they came up with this anti-violence, anti-whatever drug gang stuff, but do we need something like that, or will it become the crack laws all over again? The crack laws got rid of a lot of people for a long periods of time, and we realized that we were just trying to douse a fire without solving or saving a, because we weren't saving a life when they instituted the crack laws. They were ruining a bunch of lives in it also. So we need to find out whether that is an issue. We need to find out how do we get the Black church and the pastors and all our elected officials involved. We need to find out how do we get the school system involved. We need to know who is responsible and why these teens are going off the edge like this. It's a lot of things that we need to find out, and we'll be exploring all these things over the next 10 weeks or so with our vulnerable communities and the watchdogs. So y'all stay tuned. Robert, any closing words?
Well, I said today was an awesome show. It was good to see. I think when we talk about words, I'm changing mom, so y'all excuse me. No, we talk about no, we're good. She good. Words manifesting. I think a couple of months ago we talked about Black men stepping up and stop making Black women do it all the time. We saw examples of that. We heard examples of that today. So I just say keep doing the work. And many kudos to the young brothers out there doing these rallies. That's a lot of work. And it's a lot of putting themselves on the line. So hey, many kudos. Keep doing the great work.
Yeah.
Okay. Bernard.
Hey, you know what? I want to give Robert a shout out, man. It's like this, bro. Hey, man, when you're a caregiver to somebody you truly love, that's a hard work, man. And I praise you for that, because I've been down that road, and you keep your head up, and anything you need from us to do whatever, just let us know. And that's what it's going to take, a whole village to save our community, and let's get it started.
Well, and I tell people this all the time, man. These two here, mama and daddy, I couldn't. It took me a year to speak their praise, but this woman here, this a strong woman. She lived with Alzheimer's, has seizures, and gets up like nothing ever happened. Yeah, that's God.
Oh yeah.
So this is all I got to do, man. Look here.
All right, we praying with you, and we support you 100%.
Hey, Jules, I want to say this here to you, brother. Hey, man, thank you for ATR Black Media, man.
Oh, yes, God.
truly brought something to the Black community.
Okay.
And you need to get your prop, and because you don't ask for it. You don't ask for it. We just need to give it to you, man. And I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, from the day we came in each other's life, man. You have always been Jewish Hall.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Don't forget Live Oak Park. Meet me there. I'm on the way there in a few minutes. My rowdy youth, my mentees, they're on the porch. They just called me just now, time they're on the porch. So
you got your hand full with them, boys.
Yes, I do, man.
I know. He got him scared. He got him scared.
I gotta jack them up. They don't understand what God do to them. I couldn't act like God. I got jack them
my little cousin. That joke was 6'4". When I tell you I got done with him, he was crying. I said, I'm crying. You bigger than me, you crying like a hoe. Don't play with me.
So y'all meet us at the park. Come out and go live and invite some other people. If you can't make it, ask some other people to meet us out there at the park. I think they got free food. Hollis Mitchell is out there grilling. He's gonna have a bunch of these on Saturdays across the community. So y'all make sure that y'all come and participate. And we be there, and we're going to help as much as we can. Thank you, Ivan Cohen. Thank you, Dr. Tanya, for not thinking whether hubby was in his right mind with visions of ATR. You're right, Ivan Cohen. A lot of people didn't know what I was trying to do or what the vision was, and I got to thank my help along the way who helped to create this with Charlie Brown at first, and then Eric Scott and Natasha Scott, Charles Shaw, and you know we're putting it together. We're not finished yet. We got some great things coming. This is where you can get your news. I appreciate everybody that's on the platform and that's supporting the platform. And don't forget, you can always help us to keep the platform alive by sharing, and by supporting by going to our Cash App at All Things Relevant Media and just donate something if you can. All Things Relevant Media and donate, because we got to keep the lights on over here also. All right. Thank you. We thank you. Don't forget, we'll be doing these specials over the next 10 weeks or more, or however long it takes. That's how long we're going to be doing it, because we're going to have some fantastic guests. We're going to have, I'm going to call Brother Ned Williams. We need you, Ned. Brother Michael Porter, we're going to have you on. Brother Julius Campbell. It's a lot of people out there that, and it's not only, it's a mental thing too. So Ferrante Frazier, I'm going to be calling on you. It's a lot of people that's got to help me, and Bernard and Robert and Jay Jones and Todd and Dr. Teray. All of us are in this together, and we need everybody to participate. We know we got Alicia, Keisha, and Bernetta. All the women are awesome. So y'all just hang on. We're going to do whatever we can. We're going to make our little dent in society. It's not about us. It's about our youth. It's about what we can do to make this place a better place when we leave it. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I thank y'all for sharing. Ivan, don't forget, you're going to be the co-host of what's the name of it? Phone ring.
Mr. Ivan on it.
Ivan, don't forget, you're going to be the co-host of community, vulnerable communities, since Natasha's out of town. All right. So y'all get ready. We're on the way to the park.
Vulnerable? Dominique would be good for vulnerable. Dominique.
We'll talk about Dominique after a while. That's my girl.
Okay, but
Dominique got so much going on with school and everything. Dominique supposed to been doing a show already here, Our Black History Facts. But Dominique is
real busy.
Probably after she
so that's what talk.
Gets school and stuff.
You want to talk?
Anyway,
Mama said she want to talk, y'all. I'm gonna let her talk. Go ahead and talk to him.
Okay, let us talk to Mama.
Say hey, y'all don't get to see Miss Odessa. Miss Odessa, say hey. Say, hey, you sitting there smiling. She's smiling at y'all.
All right.
Okay, y'all be good.
All right. We'll talk with y'all. I'm going to the park, and we'll meet you there. Meet us out there.